podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt. How's it going, Matt?
Oh, you know.
I do know. Literally just recorded a thing like 2 seconds ago. Yeah, the
That's
thing we're
pretty
talking
recent.
about is a movie review for a new movie that you can check out on this feed. It's called Reality Queen, and it broke me. How have you been? Have you watched other stuff? Have you been doing... Please tell me you've watched something other than Reality Queen and the movie that we're going to talk about.
While eating breakfast recently, I've been watching Disney's Recess, and that just...
Oh, sick.
What a way to start the day.
Is that on
Disney Plus.
Nice.
It's on the DP.
Oh, that's amazing. I never went there in my mind, but I love that, and I'm going to call it that forever. What, dude? I'm DP
Just
in
came
tonight.
up with it. Oh, yeah.
What are you doing after work? Oh, I know. Might, make some Mr. Noodles, DP a bit.
It's the new Netflix and chill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, girl, you want to come over DP?
But you're actually going to, watch a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Gots to DP.
Gots to DP. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah. I haven't really, honestly, done much on Disney Plus other than watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, shit.
I've watched a couple
I haven't
things.
seen the last episode of The Mandalorian. I just realized it came out.
What?
It came out when I was moving,
You had so much time. Yeah, I guess you were moving. That's kind of a...
and I've moved twice since last time we spoke.
Yes. What, have you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I moved to a temporary place in Toronto so that I could get a job, and then started the job, and then moved to a permanent place while
shit.
starting the job. It's been crazy.
Oh, but you guys didn't pull all your stuff out of storage into the temp place, did you?
No.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Yeah, that would have been
Still
bonks.
though, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh well,
but now I have a job and a home, so that's cool.
dude, that's what I'm all about. Yeah. No, I haven't really been watching a whole lot of stuff lately. I've just been on a content kind of purge a little bit, where I just haven't really been consuming a lot. But in a way it's good because it means part of the reason I've been doing that is I've been making a lot. And so that's kind of cool. My first show that I pitched got picked up for pilot today, so I'm very stoked about that. Yeah.
Shit, dude, that's awesome.
We're going to do a 2-minute car review show that's going to air 30 to 40 times a week in between programming. Those be one of our videographers is also an auto journalist in his spare time. So he gets cars to review, and then he does written reviews. And I was like, well, shit, dude, we should do a car review show. And so he was like, yeah, that'd be great. And so then this weekend, when we were going to podcast on Saturday, and it just didn't work out. So I was like, oh shit, well, I got a couple free hours now. So I called up my dad, and I'm like, Dad, you have a car that doesn't have scratches on it, which is more than I could say for any of my friends. So, so I'm like, so you want to go out and film a thing? And he was like, what? I'm like, I need to shoot a Top Gear thing. So I made this little 30-second thing where you put on a telephoto lens, and he drove down the road, and did all these whip pans, and I'm in the back seat zooming in on his hands on the steering wheel and his eyes in the rear view.
Oh yeah.
And it's set it to Icky Thump, and then it's sent it off to my boss. I made a little quick title sequence and put a fake sponsor on it because we gotta sell it to someone.
Oh yeah.
Get someone
That's sweet.
sponsor the show, right? Sent it off, and he's like, "This is good. What do you want to do with this?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, we need to make a pilot, 2-minute pilot." And he was like, "Do it." So
Oh man.
so we're filming a Cadillac next week. It's gonna be sweet.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty pumped because I hate most of the content that we make there. It's not for me. It's very boring, and I'm not a journalist. I hate shooting news style, so I am very, very stoked to finally have something where I can just like flex as a cinematographer.
Yes. Dude, congratulations. That's freaking
It's,
awesome.
dude, I've been riding the high all day. It's pretty great.
Beats.
Especially since like all I did was like send him an email with his video in it. And he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, 2-minute car review interstitial." And he's like, "Okay." Dean gonna do it? And I'm like, "Yeah, he'll be the host." He's like, "Okay. So what do you want to do?" I'm like, "Shoot a pilot." He's like, "Great, do it."
Shit, that's so good.
Dude could smell money, right? He's like, "Oh, we're gonna
Yep.
we're gonna get a sponsor for this show, no problem." No, yeah, so that was exciting. But yeah, I think the only thing that I've watched since we last met that's worth talking about is, sometimes there's a series, a beloved science fiction series that just the fans, they love it no matter what. Even when 40 years after it first premiered, it's revived and it's brought back in a fresh way that still pays homage to the original, but adds a few twists and turns. Maybe it makes one of the lead characters a woman, and you know what? That's fine because no one is upset about it because it's still fantastic and amazing. And I'm of course referring to Battlestar Galactica.
I was wondering if you were gonna say Battlestar Galactica.
I've been rewatching the original Battlestar, or the
remake.
revival Battlestar because I found all 4 seasons at a Value Village for $30, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna
yes.
buy all of that." And man, that show is great.
I
And how come no one got this upset when they made Starbuck a woman, but then you put a lightsaber in a woman's hand, and everyone just shits?
think it's a very different fan base.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, the few Battlestar Galactica diehard fans that I knew when the revival came out were just so pumped that there was more Battlestar Galactica stuff happening that they were like, yeah, fuck, whoa, Starbucks a woman? Okay, cool. She's kicking so much ass. I'm down. And
Yeah, well, that was just it. She was
that's
a
different
great
fan
character.
base. Yeah, she's
right?
fantastic. It was a really good choice.
But what a good show. I love that show so much. I'm really enjoying watching it again. Something that I didn't enjoy watching again was the second time I saw Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, you've seen it twice.
I've seen it twice. It hurt less the second time I watched it,
Okay.
but I think that's because like I had already been hurt so much. I don't know. What do you think? I feel like we have to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's an important movie. So here's where I'm at. I thought this is an important movie as I was going into the theater, and I was like, already feeling like, it's gonna miss a lot of things. It's not gonna hit the mark on a lot of things. I just already felt that from what we knew about it and everything, and the movie starts. And we've got our classic Star Wars title crawl, probably for the last time, or at least
probably
numbered movie for last time. And I think, oh man, it's the last time. And then the very first thing that happens in the aside from the name of the movie, is, if I remember correctly, "The dead speak," and it's an exclamation mark. And I saw that and I thought, what the fuck? This is how this starts? There's an exclamation. Has there ever been an exclamation mark in one of these title crawls? I thought it was always periods.
Yes, Revenge of the Sith. It starts with "War," and there's a
that
exclamation
classic,
point.
that classic movie.
Yeah.
And so I started. That was my first reaction, and then I started to think. It's almost like JJ didn't take it too seriously, is what I started to think. And then by the time the title crawl was over, I came to the decision that I didn't have to take it that seriously either.
Fair.
And so I had a lot of emotions going through that title crawl, and then it was over, and I thought, fuck it. I love Star Wars. I love the characters that I've been given, and then I just watched the movie, and for the most part, I just enjoyed it.
Well, and that's kind of where it sucked for me, because like all the stuff at the beginning with like Poe and Finn was really fun, and then like when they crash land the Millennium Falcon and it's all on fire, and then like the banter between Poe and Rey was really good because you hadn't really seen those two interact ever, and so that was good. There was some good banter there, and Rey and Finn are friends again, and they're hanging out, and that was fun. But like the whole thing, it felt like the kind of thing that like a couple of kids playing with their Star Wars action figures in their basement would come up with. Like the whole plot, like they're like, well, we have a Palpatine action figure, so why don't we just use that? Like, you know, it was just, it felt stupid to me in a lot of ways, and I kept waiting for the J.J. Abrams twist. Like and I guess it's the Rey is a Palpatine, which,
yeah, I think that was kind of it. Yeah.
Oh,
and again, that's something we've talked about before. How we were just we thought that it was established in the previous movie that she just didn't have some majestic legacy that tied her to the previous ones, and how we loved that about her character.
Yeah,
that was one of the things going in that I was like, they're gonna undo that.
Yeah, well, but it's what makes it even weirder is like JJ even kind of set that up in The Force Awakens, where there's this scene where she's talking to Maz Kanata and she's like, I gotta go back to Jakku, and she's like, no, the people you're waiting for are never coming back. The belonging you seek is not behind you, but it's ahead. And then she says, Luke, but like already in that scene, it's kind of like JJ's telling us like your lineage doesn't matter. Like what's ahead is who you choose to be, and I guess that kind of is like the Rey Skywalker like shit that she does at the end. But like, I don't know, it felt so rushed and not thought out, and like even like the fact that like the Emperor had been kept out of the marketing materials. Like you heard his voice, but you never saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like waiting for the twist with that, where like I'm like, okay, JJ doesn't just show his hand. You know, like he's not one to call early. And so I was waiting for it to be like, okay, maybe it's a Wizard of Oz situation where someone's pretending to be the Emperor. They got, holograms and robots or something, right? Like maybe they use some dark side force magic to conjure up like a ghost of the Emperor or something like that.
That'd be cool.
But he's not really there, and it was just like, no, he's there.
Yeah, that was just like part of the title crawl where it's like
he's alive.
Everyone's heard his voice
somehow.
Yeah.
And are we ever going to find out how? No. Do we care that it kind of destroys Anakin Skywalker's arc from the past 6 movies? No, we don't. Does it matter that it kind of ruins Kylo Ren's storyline and Rey's storyline and General Hux's storyline? And like, do we care about any of that? No, because the movie's going so fast that you don't have time to think about it until you leave the theater and you're like, hold on, that was pretty dumb. So yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I did kind of like that Kylo Ren wants to be like Darth Vader so bad the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the end, he finally gets to be like Darth Vader, but in not at all the way that he ever thought, where he gets to like help stop the
Yeah.
Emperor and save a life, which I thought was I kind of liked that aspect of it. Where it's like, I thought like,
Sure.
oh, he is like Vader now. That's cool.
And I mean, his storyline is kind of the best part of the movie, and you can't really fault the filmmakers for the whole Carrie Fisher of it all.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
They were dealt a bad hand on that one, and they did
Super sad.
the best with what they could, I guess. But I feel like if you like, couldn't you give a lot of that to Luke? Like, one of the things that upset me the most about this movie is that at the very end, the last thing Luke Skywalker says in this entire series as a living person is "see you around, kid," and he disappears, and you're like, oh man, he's gonna be like a Force ghost in the next one, and he's probably gonna be like hanging around, like bugging Kylo Ren, like haunting him, kind of. Which apparently, and this is something I think I talked about it on this podcast already, like way back when. I was like, man, that's gonna be cool. And apparently that was something that they were gonna do. Was Luke was gonna be still training Rey as a Force ghost, and then he was also going to be like hanging out and like chirping Kylo Ren while he's trying to be the big bad. Yeah, and there was gonna be scenes where he was like, you know, just hanging out while Kylo Ren's trying to, you know, command his Star Destroyer, and Luke's like just hanging out, being like, huh, so you're a big evil guy now, huh? That's cool, good for you.
Maybe you should shout louder.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, what a move. Like, that's so great. Yeah, there were some leaks that came out about what Colin Trevorrow was going to do before he was fired. There was a draft that got leaked, and it was clearly written before Carrie Fisher died, because there's a lot of great like Leia stuff in it, but yeah, alas. I don't know. I think I think it's just real dumb, and I think there was a lot of stuff that was like they tried too hard to try and please everyone. You know?
Yeah, it was something that you had called that I before going in, where it was just like gonna be middle of the road, where it's like try some things to please these people, try some things to please these people, but ultimately it will be in the middle.
Yeah. And there was even stuff like Luke catching the lightsaber and saying, the weapon of a Jedi deserves more respect than this. Like, I don't know if you can give a bigger public middle finger to Rian Johnson than that.
Yeah, I did think about that. Yeah.
Like, that's yeah. But yeah, nothing to me is worse than your grandpa is the Emperor. I think like literally in the theater I went, what?
That's hilarious.
And like face palmed. It was like, you're his granddaughter, and I'm like, what? And like no one reacted in the theater, and I was kind of like, yeah, that kind of, yeah, that tracks. I don't know how to like.
Yeah, wow.
And there's no consequences to anything that happened in this movie either. You think Chewbacca's dead, 5 minutes later he's not dead. You know, like how much more powerful would it have been if they break onto Kylo Ren's ship and then they're about to get executed, like they all get captured, and then Chewbacca's the one that comes busting in and saves them. And he's like, I was on a different ship, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the worst moment, and I think I laughed out loud in the theater when it happened, was when Hux shoots them all the stormtroopers, and then goes, I'm the spy. I was like, it was another one of those.
I also laughed out loud. That was amazing. I loved it.
Because I was already like iffy on this movie. I'm going like, what is going on? This is some dumb shit that's happening, man. Like yeah,
man.
Yeah, real dumb. Overall, I'm very disappointed, and I wouldn't be surprised if I heard someone say that they heard a rumor. I can't remember where I heard it. Another podcast, I think, where the Emperor stuff was all added in reshoots. Like
Like
I don't know.
that whole part of the story was added like after Carrie Fisher passed away or something.
No. Because she had passed away before they started shooting the movie.
Uh,
So they were just using like the old footage that they
that's
had,
right. I
right?
forgot.
Which is why she never really like directly answers a question
Mm-hmm.
or acknowledges a statement. It's always kind of like, General, they're back with the Falcon, and she's like, "Well, we just have to believe in ourselves, and we'll make it through." It's like,
Well,
what?
also, side note, was it also really distracting for you that Mary Addock was just in the movie?
Who?
Mary Brandy Buck, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
very
like,
much.
I like the guy. I do.
He served no purpose though. It was just JJ casting his friends.
Yeah, he was just in it.
Yeah, 'cause he was like, "You were in Lost, come be in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'll give you these 6 lines that we could have given to Rose. I'll give to you."
Yeah.
Because we're diminishing her character because it just doesn't track with angry white boys. So
That was my absolute least favorite thing about the entire movie was how she
Yeah.
was just discarded as a character.
Hey Rose, do you want to come on this adventure? No, I have to specifically stay here and research old Star Destroyers. But you guys have fun. I'll be here, not in the movie, researching old Star Destroyers. And said research will come into play in no way. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, I don't know. J.J. Abrams has never been good at endings, and you hired the guy who wrote Batman vs. Superman, which sucked, and Justice League, which still sucked, even though Joss Whedon tried his best to fix it. And you hired that guy to write this fucking movie, and it is not. It's not good, and I don't even know. Yeah,
I want to
I
watch
don't
it
even
again.
I don't even know what to say about it. I only want to watch the scene with Babu Frick. I do not want to watch anything else. The scene with Babu Frick is amazing.
It's pretty spectacular. Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard so many. Like, there's so many things that you could do, like real simple things to make it better. Like, I don't know. Like, why wasn't Kylo Ren just the bad guy in the movie? Like, why did he need another boss? You know, like he just overcame his previous master, and then you're just gonna give him another master right away. How dope would it have been if he just like killed the Emperor in the first scene?
Ugh.
Like, so good, right? If it was
Yeah.
like, he's like, "I'll give you command of the fleet," and he's like, "I'll take it myself," and just like fucking cut the Emperor in half. I would have stood up and applauded in the theater.
I was actually hoping that there was gonna be more of like, of a power struggle over the First Order, between Kylo Ren and Hux, actually.
Nah, it'd be too interesting. You couldn't do that. Yeah, I agree. I was hoping that would happen too, because I think you set it up at the end of the last movie, to be very, very interesting and contentious.
Very.
You know, like, how do you, as Hux, deal with a kind of a crazy guy who can kill you by thinking about it? Like, how do you deal with, how do you try to seize power from that guy? Like, he literally threw him across the bridge of his command ship into a wall at the end of The Last Jedi.
Yep. Good times.
You know? But yeah, I don't know. I wish that, what Rian Johnson did was he took the ball that JJ threw him and he ran with it. And he got as far as he could, and then he had to, you know, he had to pass it off, and he passed it back to JJ, and JJ just took all that progress that Ryan had made and like backtracked, but still somehow made it into the end zone. You know,
He just kicked it from there.
yeah, it was a lateral back, and he's just like, I'm just gonna drop kick it, fuck it, and it made it. You know what? It made it through the uprights into the stands, and some lucky fan caught it, and they were super happy, and the rest of us were all just sitting there going, "What?"
What? Yeah. Well,
But that dude got to catch the football, and he was stoked.
that's fucking awesome. Love
Good
it.
for him.
Love it for that dude. That's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see some subtle retcons happen. Just like not like straight up stuff, but like maybe in like a comic book or something, someone, says like, well, so and so says this, and they'd be like, please, you can't believe everything a Sith tells you. Just something like that. To be like, oh wait, okay, so maybe he's not. Maybe that was a lie that Palpatine was her granddaughter. I don't know.
Time will tell.
Because it's the worst reviewed of the new Star Wars movies.
That makes sense.
Worse than Solo. And I mean, I liked Solo, but
Solo was
I know
fun.
like critically it did not do great.
Yeah.
And amongst the fans, it was not received super well.
Yeah, but
There's a small
Wars
loyal, like there's a make Solo 2 happen kind of movement.
Oh yeah, that's
online.
right.
Very, very subtle. And I'm like, you know what, guys, carry that torch. Just like, yeah. I mean, just like if you loved Rise of Skywalker and you're happy with it, like I'm good for you, man. That's great. I wish I was you.
Yeah, you're the lucky one, right?
I wish I could be happy about this, but I'm not. I'm very, very disappointed. And I wish that Ryan or that JJ had taken the challenge of this is what Ryan gave me to work with. How do I make this work? Instead of being like, this is what Ryan gave me to work with. I don't like it. So I'm going to bring back the Emperor somehow.
Yeah, that's the drop kick.
And yeah. So anyways, that's that. Should we get into the movie? That we gotta watch. We watched a movie. We review other movies on this.
No, let's just call it. Thank you so much for listening to the Retro Craptacular podcast. You
Should we
can
still-
find us
should-
on
Should we still call the episode title like
Switcher?
we
I don't know.
reviewed?
Yeah, might as well. It's been like half an hour or something. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, about that. All right. Yeah. So, Matt,
Hey.
let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
Who's the black private dick who's a sex machine to all the chicks?
Shaft.
Damn right.
Remember me? Read my mind. Who delivers 10 times out of 10?
Who's the cat that won't cop out?
Cherry Ray. I might take you down, but I'll never let you down. Now, what's my name? Shaft! You're damn right.
You are gone from this precinct.
For what? That?
What is wrong with you?
I'm out. I'm done. I'll get in my own way.
In a system where money can buy you freedom,
What about the waitress?
The waitress, she saw it, huh? So what you do, threaten her?
The next day, I just started running. I've been running ever since.
in a city where fear can buy you power,
I need someone located.
That's gonna cost you.
only one man will stand up for justice.
You ain't even a pig no more. Do you think that makes me less dangerous or more dangerous?
You're too hot, man. You gotta step off a bit.
Got milk?
Yeah, I got the milk.
His ass. is mine.
You know, something happens to her, I'm gonna come after you myself.
You won't have to. Something happens to her, it happens to me. Any questions?
Can you dig it?
All right, now that we proved that we are, in fact, so white,
Oh, white. Oh, baby.
let's just talk about Shaft.
Yeah, the very first thing I wrote down was theme song. Damn, it's good.
It's so good. I had not seen this movie in a very long time. This is the first movie in our series of movies for 2020 called The Distant Future, the year 2000. It's all movies that came out in 2000, and we're going to see how long I can keep that joke going, because I might run out of movies that came out in 2000. It is not a very promising list, but I'm
that's too
committed.
bad.
So here we go. Mostly it's just so that we can review Dracula 2000 in Halloween.
Yeah.
Have you watched the BBC Dracula, by the way?
No.
Oh, yeah. Same guy that did Sherlock did a 3-episode Dracula series. It's like an hour and a half. It's on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. It looks great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Anyways, so Shaft.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen this movie in a really, really long time, and I really dug it.
I had never seen Shaft.
Oh, baby.
And you know how I like to go into movies, and that's knowing nothing about the movie.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Impossible. I've heard so much about Shaft. I recognized the theme
fair.
song.
Well, yeah. Everyone knows the theme song. Whether you've
Yeah.
seen Shaft or not, everyone knows the theme song. Like my mom knows the Shaft theme song. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like getting to understand a story that people have been telling you or been saying in the circles that you've been hanging out with, and you're like, oh, that's what everyone's been talking about. That's kind of what watching this movie was like for me.
Yeah, I like I said, hadn't seen it in a very long time. I forgot Christian Bale was in it.
Yeah. He's such a good, he's so good at being a hateful character.
Yeah.
I love it.
It made me think that I probably had seen this movie pre-Batman,
Oh, yeah, you must have.
because I did recognize Christian Bale. This is a strange movie in a lot of ways.
Do tell.
On a very, very simple level, it's fun. Fun
Yeah.
action movie. Mostly, I think Shaft is a likable character, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's
Yeah.
he's a no nonsense, private eye. Gonna get the job. He'll
kind of gets
he'll
like
beat the
vigilante justice style.
totally, yeah. Like he'll
Yeah.
beat the shit out of a guy on the street because he's selling drugs to a little kid. And
I actually I wrote down a quote of Samuel L. Jackson's that I just felt summed up the movie really well.
okay, all right.
And I'm not gonna say it like Samuel L. Jackson because I couldn't even get close. But what he says is, "Guess I'm gonna have to show him what fucking with people's all about." And I thought, yes, that's the movie I'm watching right now, in a nutshell.
Yeah. Was that when he goes and beats up the guy? Is it
You'll have to be a lot more specific, Aaron.
the guy is like leaning up against the car. He's like, that kid Tommy lived down the street. And he's like, yeah, no. Let me ask you again. You know that kid Tommy lives down the street? And he's like, no, man, I don't know that kid. He's like, you're damn right you don't know that kid. Was it that scene?
Yeah, I think it was just before that scene, yeah.
Yeah, cool. See, now what I like about that scene, I think this sums up Shaft's character pretty well, is like he's beating the shit out of that guy because he's a bad guy, and he's getting a little kid involved in the gang life and the drug life, and that's a bad thing that bad people do.
It's true.
But I think he's also doing it because he kind of wants to fuck that kid's older sister / mom. I'm not really sure which one she was.
That was his mom, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, she was kind of young looking, but that's what it could have been. Could have pulled that movie like, hey, damn, Timmy, how come you didn't tell me you had such a beautiful sister? Could have done one of those, right? But that kind of sums up Shaft for me, because the one quote I wrote down was, "It's my duty to please that booty."
Yes. Oh, yep. Those two quotes together. That's the whole. That's Shaft's persona right there.
100%.
Oh.
But yeah, it's the thing that's weird about this movie though is like it takes itself seriously.
Yep, absolutely.
But it's kind of hilarious.
Yep, absolutely.
But it totally has that like ability that like only movies from the 90s / I guess 2000 have. Well, it would have been shot in the 90s probably.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where like it's not taking itself 100%, or it's playing it 100% straight, but it's being like weird. Like Busta Rhymes in this movie, like that dude is like nothing that dude can be taken seriously. Like when he's like got like the guy, he like hijacks the limo driver, puts on all his clothes, duct tapes him up, and leaves him in the passenger seat of the limo while they're like. I'm like, why did you need to take his clothes? Why couldn't you just hijack the limousine?
And then he's
like, it's not like
he's like asking him, "Are you cold? Do you need a coat?"
Yeah, and then there's like they're like driving. There's like paparazzi taking pictures, and he's like waving out the window. He's like, how's it going?" He's
so
just being
ridiculous.
totally whack. Busta Rhymes is my favorite part of the movie. I think
That's fair.
it was so good.
What?
I don't understand one of my notes. Anyways, we'll get to it later because it's about the ending.
Okay.
So the movie starts with a hate crime. Poor young black man. I mean, not poor, like financially poor. Like they're at a very nice restaurant, but poor in circumstance. Unfortunate black
That can
young
still be
black
taken
man
both ways, actually. Yeah.
has been. Look, the thing that happens to him is unfortunate because he is bludgeoned in the face with a metal pole outside of a restaurant where he was just enjoying a nice meal with his girlfriend and some friends. And as the paramedics are trying to resuscitate him, he goes into shock and he dies right there on the crime scene. And the piece of shit, rich trust fund white douchebag that is played by Christian Bale is so hateable, and he's the number one suspect, even though there were no witnesses, but these two did have an altercation in the restaurant, and there's a waitress that probably knows more than she's letting on. And so Samuel L. Jackson punches the sorry, why am I saying that? Shaft punches the guy in the face.
Well, it's because he's
twice.
just Samuel L. Jackson. He's not really playing a character. It's just Samuel L.
Is
Jackson.
Shaft. I watched that new Shaft movie that they put out
How did that go?
last year. I didn't finish it. It was not as good. Like whereas like there's Richard Roundtree, who's the original Shaft, and he's in this movie too, as Uncle John Shaft. He's like the guy that he goes and works for.
Yeah, that's right.
The private eye.
Yeah.
The black private dick who's a sex machine to all the chicks. You know that guy?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Shaft. I lost my train of thought. I was just singing the song in my head now. So he's in it, and then in the sequel, then the threequel, I guess, which is also called Shaft. They have Samuel L. Jackson Shaft's son, and then so there's like 3 generations of John Shafts. And they're all, yeah. So that's cool.
So yeah, Samuel L. Jackson punches
I didn't finish
Christian
it.
Bale in the face.
Mm-hmm. And and he gets booted out of the precinct, but he still goes to another precinct, and Christian Bale gets off on like $200,000 bail or something like that.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Makes bail, goes to Switzerland.
Yeah, and then it's 2 years later, like pretty quick in
Yeah.
the movie.
And Shaft is still a cop. He's at a different precinct. He's still a cop, but he's running some kind of. This is where the movie started to the plot started to kind of fuzz up for me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a raid. They're doing like a raid on someone's apartment. There's like a drug house, maybe drug dealers. Crime is happening in there. Either probably not directly in the apartment is crime happening, but people who commit crimes inhabit this, and there may be evidence of such crimes located within.
Yes.
So they bust in, they do this raid, and then as they're throwing all the guys in the paddy wagon, there's a guy eating some pasta and laughing at them from an apartment window.
Yep.
And it's Jeffrey Wright, who's very black. I mean, not very black. He's not as black as Seal, but he's a black man, African American, 100%. I looked it up because I was like, what is his ethnic origin? Because he's definitely playing like a Latin American,
Yes.
Puerto Rican, something Hispanic.
Yes.
But I looked it up and it's like, no, he's just African American. It was 2000. If you were slightly brown, you could play pretty much anything.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
And that's just it. Jeffrey Wright isn't super dark skinned, so they're like, hey man, grow a goatee and say "Jew guys," and then you can be
And that was all it took.
a Latino gangster named Peoples Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't figure out why what his involvement in the plot was. Because I guess they needed like a more active plot because they couldn't have the movie just being like, he's got to get Christian Bale, but Christian Bale keeps getting out on bail because he's rich.
Because that's his last name.
So, I guess they worked in this thing where the two of them meet in the holding cell.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wants Christian Bale to start bringing his cocaine to all the nightclubs and stuff downtown. And so Christian Bale kind of gets involved with this guy. And then...
But it's like a last resort for him because he needs the waitress taken care of.
Christian Bale needs the waitress taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so there's the waitress played by... I want to say Tia Leone, but I know it's not correct. She's in Hereditary.
Oh, that's where I recognized her from. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but she's a redhead in this. It kind of threw me off.
I can't remember her name.
Can't remember either. It's going to come to me as soon as we're done recording, or I'll look it up quietly while we're still talking. But, so he needs that guy to take care of the waitress. Like, take care of her.
Yep. I love it when you use hand gestures on our podcast, by the way. It's great.
Right, sorry. I was doing the, gun to the head, like in Pulp Fiction. Like, he asked me to take care of his wife for the weekend. Like, wait, take care of her? No. Show her a good time. Fuck, okay. So, he needs the waitress taken care of because she's the one witness. She's the one witness, and he paid her off to silence her. Toni Collette. That's the waitress.
Right.
So, Buttface comes back from Switzerland. Christian Bale. They arrest him. They do the thing with Busta Rhymes where he gets in the limo and takes the guy's clothes.
Yep.
Throw the cuffs on him. Throw him in lockup. He goes to court, and The judge sets bail at $1 million.
Ooh.
And then the only scene I remember from this movie, from the first time I saw it, happens, and that's when Shaft throws his badge at the judge, and it sticks in the wood.
Oh, that's right.
Behind him on the wall, and he's like, "That's it, I'm done. I'm gonna get him on my own terms." And he, and then his lady cop friend comes with to help. She still works for the cops, but she's like helping him on the side. And then there's maybe some crooked cops that are also trying to get the waitress for some reason.
Well, they're crooked with Peoples Hernandez.
Right? Okay,
and Peoples is trying to get her because of rich white dude.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of where the plot kind of stopped making sense for me, or maybe I just couldn't. I didn't follow it.
Yeah, it's not the cleanest
Fully.
story.
Yeah.
It's really not about the story, you know?
No. Well, no, and it's not, because that's kind of illustrated by the ending, which I wrote here.
Yeah, I didn't see
the
the ending coming.
The ending was meh, because like there's 3 trials that happen in the movie. There's the first one where he gets off on bail, $200,000, and John Shaft is consoling this woman who's crying, who you kind of realize like, oh, that this is the kid's mom.
Yeah.
The man who was murdered at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Second trial happens. Bail is set at $1 million. He posts bail. She's real upset, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get this son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Third trial happens. He's rocking up to the courthouse. Everyone's like booing him. They're
Yeah, and this is like the end of the movie when we've gone through all the crazy shit.
And like right before he's like talking, he's convinced the waitress to testify, and he's like, "Don't worry, we got him dead to rights. We got an eyewitness. She's gonna tell the judge that she saw him do it, and that he threatened her, and that he silenced her, and and he paid her off. And we got him. He's nailed." And the mother's like, "Yeah, awesome, good, stoked." And then as Christian Bale's walking up to the courthouse, he just gets popped like 4 or 5 times in the chest, gets shot.
Quite a few.
And there's a big dramatic push in, and it's the mom. She's standing there, and she just like puts her hands up, has the gun hanging off her one finger, just like puts her hands up. She gets arrested. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. I mean, great. Good for you. But like,
that nullified the entire plot.
Yeah, like Shaft just did all this work to get this fucking guy through the legal system, right? Shaft's whole thing is like, I want to, because he could have shot the guy at any time.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I'm going to do it legally. I'm going to do my job.
Yep.
Even though I'm not a cop anymore. But yeah, so what I wrote was, what I wrote that I didn't get was ending, meh, let her go, thumbs up. I don't remember why I wrote let her go. And it's in quotes.
All of the people in the crowd, as she's being arrested, they start chanting, let her go.
Let her go. Let her go. Right, after she just shot him. Yeah, that's right. That was great. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, and that's the scene fades out with the crowd chanting.
Yeah, that was good.
It's pretty sweet.
The only other note that I wrote to myself was the transitions are whack.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's
like fair.
It was like, okay, digital transitions just came into play. Let's use them. All the transitions are like a horizontal lines coming in and then doing the Venetian blind thing. It's so extra.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, I like that. Extra. That's fair.
It's just like, you could tell it was edited by some like computer nerd, like young editor, hotshot guy in the late 90s, early 2000s, who like just got like Final Cut or something like that. He's like, check this out. Yeah, that'll be $10,000, please. Boom. and they're like, "Oh my god, this kid is the best editor of all time.
He's a genius.
He's the new Walter Murch. Let's hire him forever. Forever.
Forever.
We're gonna hire him forever."
Man, that
So he can
transition
do the side. It
happened
happens
so many times. I wish that I had kept a tally. I really wish that I had.
I wish that they had
It's a lot.
shaken it up a little bit.
No.
Because, like,
Not worth
there's
it.
movies like Star Wars has some dumb transitions, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
some
true.
very, very dumb. Very dumb.
We're just used to them, right? Like,
Yeah.
but,
But this is like the same dumb transition over and over again.
yup.
Like if Star Wars did like, the 8 irises out every time.
Then yeah, it would get real dumb.
Yeah. How did Star Wars get away with that?
It was just so special in every other aspect,
I guess, yeah.
right?
'Cause, like, even in the prequels, they do it, and like no one seems to mind.
But yeah, because it was already such a part of the movies. Like,
Yeah.
why not keep doing it?
Yeah, and it's weird. Like the new ones now, they don't really do. They maybe do some like diagonal wipes.
Yeah, like a few. They don't lean on that very hard.
Maybe a solo iris out. They always iris out at the end.
Oh, gots to.
But yeah. Anyways, so is there anything like amazing about Shaft that we need to talk about? I mean, like I think it's really fun. Like I think the action's fun. I think Samuel L. Jackson's really likable
Yeah,
as Shaft. I think he's charismatic.
absolutely. He's fucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Obviously, I didn't really need to say that, but
Just in case you forgot, I wanted to let you know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, wow. We talked about Star Wars way longer than we talked about Chef, but there's not much to talk about. It's
no, that's just it. It's like it's not. It's just good.
yeah. One other thing I noted, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Most of the gunshots from not Uzis sound like Uzis and shotguns sound like shotguns to me, whatever. And I don't usually notice these kinds of things, but most of the gunshots were not as cool as Shaft's. I don't know if you noticed that, but people will be shooting.
No.
People will be shooting, with their guns, whatever. They're handguns. And they'd be like, pow, pow, pow. And then Shaft would get out his really little piece. And all of a sudden it'd be like, and it would be way deeper and have more of a growl to it and be a bit louder. And I was like, they just made Shaft's gunshots cooler than everyone else's.
I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Oh, I love that.
And
That's one of those kind of subconscious little details you probably wouldn't really pick up on. I didn't pick up on it,
Yeah.
right? But subconsciously you're being told that Shaft is a bad mother.
yeah.
You're supposed to say shut your mouth, and then I just say I'm just talking about Shaft. But we fucked that bit up. So, anyways,
Well, you could edit it out if you wanted to.
all right, let's do it again real quick. That Shaft is a bad mother.
Don't you dare.
Perfect. Nailed it on the first go.
I couldn't.
This
help
is
it.
great. What time is it for you right now?
Oh, 22 minutes into your tomorrow.
Ah, sweet. I don't think we've ever podcast over 2 different days before.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
great.
I'm in your future.
Yeah.
I'm in Tuesday. You're not in Tuesday.
No, not yet. I got.
Want me to tell you about it?
Yeah. How's it?
It's dark.
Oh, okay.
But not that dark because I'm in Toronto and the light pollution is crazy.
Oh my god, dude, I would kill for some fucking light pollution out here, man. I wake up in the morning, it's fucking dark. I go home, it's fucking dark. It's just dark all the time.
Woof.
Sadness. Anyways, yeah. But Shaft is the ray of sunshine in my week. I got to watch that.
Yeah. That's fun.
And it was glorious.
Yeah, that was just Yeah, I kind of feel bad that there's not much to talk about. I feel like I
Yeah.
want to be able to say more, but it's also just kind of like, no, you just gotta go watch it.
Yeah, I just say like watch it. Like I mean, don't go like out of your way to watch it, but if you're like, I need something to watch tonight. I want like a good fun action movie. Shaft, baby. Watch Shaft. Good. It's good. Christian Bale's great
Oh gosh, yeah,
as like a complete piece of shit. Like
he's
you
so
hate
good
him.
at it.
You hate him from minute one, and you love how much you hate him.
Yes, so good.
It's very hard, I think, as an actor to be likable and despised at the same time. And that's exactly what his performance is.
Yeah.
Like you like how much of an asshole, or you like how much you hate this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's liberating
Yeah.
being able
It's,
to just
you know,
hate someone so much.
I think it lives up to the legend of Shaft in a big way, you know. Like
Yeah.
it's he's a bad dude. He plays by his own rules, and he pleases the ladies, and he gets the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah. I was a little surprised that there wasn't like sex in the movie.
Yeah,
Like we
there's-
open with
Oh, yeah,
a lot
there's
of
some fucking-
a lot of sex. Like
Over the-
montage of sex. Lot of breasts.
yeah, straight up. There's straight up just boobs.
Yeah.
In the opening credits, and then there's no
But
sex.
then, yeah, no. Like he flirts.
Like, yeah,
and someone definitely
you-
earlier on in the movie, you know, requests sex from Shaft.
yeah,
And that's when he gives the line about, you know, his duty
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that booty
yeah.
and all that.
like you want to be held or you want the LD. She's like, I want the LD, baby, and then I want to be held.
That was great.
It's like it's my duty to please that booty.
Yeah.
So good.
But yeah, no actual sex scenes. Yeah.
No. Yeah, that is a very weird thing. Actually, yeah. Directed by John Singleton, by the way, who's probably most famous for directing Boys in the Hood
Oh.
and Too Fast, Too Furious, the second Fast and Furious movie, which is real bad, but in a really great way.
I haven't seen that actually.
We should do all of them on this show, probably.
How many are there now?
There's 8 in the main series.
Oof.
There's a 9th one.
Oh, it's kind of like a spin-off.
There's the spin-off,
Yeah.
the Hobbs and Shaw, which is way too long. Like you could cut 40 minutes out of that movie,
Ooh.
and it would be tight. It would be a tight movie. And then there's the 9th one. I think is coming out this year or next year. I don't know.
Woof. Well, maybe
Yeah.
maybe when we run out of movies from the 2000s, our theme this year
No, 2000 from 2000.
from the 2000.
Yeah. Especially if the movie has 2000 in the title. But yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Shaft is great. I think we're a fist bump. We're gonna give it a fist bump.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Breakfast Club fist bump.
Yeah. Knew that like 5 minutes into the movie, where I was like, "Oh yeah, no, this is
Yeah.
just gonna be fucking great."
Yeah, from the second he steps onto the screen, you're like,
I do have one question for you. though.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah.
His facial hair. How do we feel
Uh-huh.
about it?
Oh, I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do we have?
When
you
I
not like it?
when I actually stopped to look at it, I was like, "Oh, you know, that's really fucking dumb looking."
Okay, hold on. I gotta look at it now.
'Cause
Because
it didn't-
now I'm like,
You don't think about it. It was like near the very end of the movie where I thought, you know, his facial hair is interesting, and I paused it and I looked at it and I was like, no, if I saw someone with that facial hair, I would say that what the fuck did you do to your face?
what's wrong with your face? Okay, yeah, I kind of see what you're talking about there. He's got like you see that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's got like the soul patch and a goatee. All in one.
And the mustache that goes into the chops, like this thing. What do you call that?
Does he have them on the? Sorry, it's a really dark picture. Oh yeah.
The
So it
mustache
goes
into the.
So the goatee. Well, yeah. Well, I think it's just the beard part of the goatee goes back down the side, the bottom of it. Chin strap. He's got like a tiny chin strap.
That's
chin
what it's
strap
called,
that
yeah.
doesn't, because he doesn't have any hair. He's bald, so it's just like the chin strap from like the back of his jaw up into the goatee, bald pieces in the middle of the goatee.
Yeah.
Soul
So
patch.
his chin has like a racing stripe.
Yeah, it's got a landing patch.
Yeah. A landing patch
Got a-
on his face.
Yeah, yeah. So
So I mean, like, I went through the whole movie not noticing because he's so badass. But then as soon as I did, I thought, that's weird.
okay, it is kind of weird. Yeah, I didn't. Well, like I said, I didn't notice it, but I guess yeah. Well, now that I have seen it, I'm like,
Now you can't
Ugh.
unsee it.
yeah.
So viewers who are
definitely.
about to go watch Shaft and enjoy it, now you will probably notice that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the show. If you like the show, best thing you can do is tell a friend. The second best thing you can do is leave a
Is
review.
tell your mom.
Tell your mom. And if your mom is your best friend, ooh, buddy. Good for you. Good for you, man. Hey,
Hey,
me and my mom are tight, man. We made dumplings last week. It was fantastic.
your mom is pretty
Great.
great. It's true.
Great quality time spent with my mom making dumplings. But yeah, after you show your mom, leave a review on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. What does it matter to you? Literally changes your life in no way. But it helps us out a lot, and so that's great. So if this is like your one random act of kindness, that'd be sick, man. And literally, it's the least amount of effort you could put into being nice to someone this week. So yeah, give that a shot. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at RetroCrapPod. Twitter's probably the best place to do that, though. I don't really check the Instagram as much as I used to. But yeah, or you can send us an email at retrocrappod@gmail.com. And we got an email from a listener.
Ooh, I love emails.
I know, me too. Let me see here. From a guy named Theo.
That's a name.
Yeah, he's an independent filmmaker from England. A couple weeks ago, I released my first feature film. It's a crazy ambitious project. Features around 80 different locations and has a cast of hundreds. Dude, this sounds crazy. As someone who wants to make films like this, making a feature film, this is insane. Let alone a feature film that has 80 locations and a cast of hundreds. Like when I write movies, I'm like, how few people and places can I put in this movie and still have it be good?
Yeah.
Can I have 2 people in a tent? Can I make a movie where 2 people just are in a tent and that's the whole movie? Because I can film that. But yeah, shit. It's got huge battle scenes, many vehicles, explosions, fight scenes, effects, elaborate set piece. And it was all self-funded, no producers or backing involved.
What?
And as a result, it took me almost a decade to put together.
That's a
Holy
long
crap.
time, Theo.
Yeah. Okay, the movie is called...
Shit.
He sent us a trailer, and then there's some other pieces here that I won't get into the details on this part, but yeah, the movie's called Unit 11. He sent us a trailer. Maybe I'll share the trailer on Twitter or something like that. Check it out. Yeah, that sounds very neat. I scrubbed through the trailer. Unfortunately, I checked the email like a minute before we were recording, and I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. But I scrubbed through it real quick, and it looks pretty like tight.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm on board.
Almost a decade to put together. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, if you listen to the review that we did of what's that? Her Royal Shitness. What was the movie that we did?
Oh, Reality Queen.
Reality
It was
Queen.
not
that's
that
what
long
it
ago,
was.
man.
I know. I've tried to block it from my brain.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Reality Queen. If you listen to the review of Reality Queen that we just put out, I go on this tirade where I'm like, was this like a passion project that this guy had been carrying around for 15 years? And if so, why do you care so deeply about making jokes about Paris Hilton for 15 years? This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about, right? Where I'm like, this guy spent 10 years paying for a movie himself.
Yeah.
You know, no crowdfunding, no producers, just
No Mike Tyson.
fucking grinding. And then, you know, to get the movie done all by himself, and then he sends us an email being like, hey, can you talk about my movie? And you know what? Yeah. I don't care if this movie's good, bad, medium. Look, like, honestly, I mean, obviously I want it to be good. And I hope to get to watch it someday. And I'm not trying to make a joke here. I'm being 100% serious. Sincere.
Serious. You just made up a new word and I'm on board.
I did make up a new word. It's great, right? I'm being 100% serious right now.
So serious.
I'm so pumped that you finished it and that you're like sending it to us and that you lived the dream, man.
Congrats.
This dude fucking accomplished something, man. Every day, you know, we get out of bed, we go to work at a job we probably don't like, and we're like, man, one day I'm going to do that thing that makes me super happy. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to, but, you know, I'm like, nah, just not today. Today I guys got to go to work, and then tomorrow I'm going to do it, and then tomorrow, and you just keep putting it up. This fucking guy did it, man. 10 years, made a fucking feature film, and now he's hustling to get people to watch it. And so, you know what? Go throw this guy a bone. Watch his movie. It's called Unit 11. It's directed by Theo Kane Garvey, and the poster looks insane. It's got like a crazy bald dude with a bat and like a chick with a sniper rifle and another guy that kind of looks like Diego Luna with like a handgun.
Okay.
Yeah, shit. And it's like it looks like a drawn poster too. Like it's not just like a crappy Photoshop job. There's like a little tiny robot. It looks good. It looks pretty dope. So, you know, big ups to Mr. Theo Kane here, for doing something that a lot of us only dream of doing, man. And he chased his dream and he made a movie. So,
That's
shout out to him. Give him some love, mad respect. Yeah, if you want to let us know anything, if you made a movie, he wants to check it out, anything you want to recommend, we watch a movie. If you watched Reality Queen and you need to join a support group, like, we're here for you. You can email us, retrocrappod@gmail.com. Yeah, get in touch. Especially about the last one, though. Seriously, find help.
Get help today.
If you had to watch that.
Fun fact, that's not the first time I've said get help today on this podcast.
On this podcast? Oh, yeah. It's probably some other fucking horrible movie that we watched.
Yeah, it was the Star Wars.
Was the Star Wars
holiday
holiday? Yeah,
special.
okay.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went, too. That was the movie that made me scream into a pillow.
Yep.
Out of nowhere. Just because I had so many things happening in my brain, I didn't know what to do with them, but I needed to get them out.
Get help
It's
today.
weird how, yeah, it's weird how, you know, stress or it just manifests itself in different ways in people.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, apparently, it's screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. So that's it for us today. This is a pretty classic ending, right? We just kind of waffle on out.
Yeah. Ooh, I want waffles now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got some waffles in my freezer. I might have
You
some.
lucky duck.
Yeah. Sorry, they're glutinous. You can't have them.
Oh,
Otherwise, I'd mail some to you. But
that'd be weird.
especially since you're coming here.
Yeah, I would get to you before your waffles would get to me.
Yeah. That'd be good. Be a
And
good
that's-
joke. All right.
Never a sentence I ever thought that I would say. But, you know, life is strange like that.
It is strange like that. All right. Well, it's almost 1 a.m. over there for you, so we should probably shut it down.
Yeah, sounds good.
Go watch Shaft. It's a good time.
Yeah.
And check out that dude's movie. And in the meantime, keep watching crap.